I am Marcus Blake with That Nerd Show, and we are with Mimi Jeffries talking about her film, Lily. So, now, as a man who has never been to a baby shower in his life, I'm very curious. Is this supposed to be more of a comedy, or do you get into a little bit darker subject?
We definitely focus on an exploration. It is more of a realism type of piece, and like a subdued realism that focuses more on like the darker themes and the contradictory themes of being a contemporary woman, and those themes that have existed since, say the patriarchy is part of the establishment, and like the idea of social roles and social obligations for women within the context of a baby shower. Okay. So it's an exploration of the psyche, which tends to lean itself a little bit darker.
Well, I mean, there's an awful lot of stereotypes about like a baby shower, and code of conduct, and all that. You're basically trying to explore and I guess shatter that, or how to be unconventional with it.
Yeah, we're exploring like the idea of the codes of conduct, like the idea of the games that you play at the baby showers, like all of these the social constructs that we've built within the context of this celebration, and what do you do if an individual is placed in a situation where there is not really a cause for celebration, but the forced obligation to celebrate simultaneously.
Okay.
So it is kind of an exploration of female psyche and the idea of social obligations, but simultaneously suppression of emotion.
Do you feel that a lot has changed with baby showers over the last, let's say, 20 years or even 40 years? The idea of what they're supposed to be compared to a more modern woman doing it.
The construction of baby showers, like, it is definitely something that is different from culture to culture. In America, it's very before the baby is born to have a baby shower, but in other countries, it is considered, almost a superstition to have one before the child is born.
Right.
The ideas of formerly men shouldn't be at baby showers, but now we see it as the idea of co-ed baby showers. But it's really like the idea of what are we trying to celebrate within those moments? Is it a celebration for the mother and the future child, or is it the celebration that for people to gather together to have a good time? Like, who is the party truly for within those moments?
It's like a wedding party, just to get presents. You mentioned something about, co-ed baby showers, which I find kind of strange. I mean, I don't have kids personally, but I'm with friends with kids who have told me, we've gone to a co-ed. I'm like, is that an actual thing? Does that really happen? Because I figure all the guys are down at the pub, having guy time.
Yeah, I think that there's a deconstruction of the notion that the idea of a baby shower is something that is regulated to the idea of the female. But now with the ideas of, the distribution of power and responsibility within our current cultural landscape, that it is something where there is a division of responsibilities even at the beginning of it, even before the birth. Like the idea of parenthood being a co-job as opposed to a singular job. Within the short film, it is the only male in the entire cast. There are two men in the cast. One is the father, and one is the son of a guest attending. So there is a very it is exploring those small moments as opposed to the idea of the social concept.
What was the inspiration behind this? I mean, is this based off somebody that you know, or a baby shower you
the construction of this is really influenced by the themes of Virginia Woolf, Kay Chopin, and Margaret Atwood, and just looking at the ideas of how those themes of motherhood and maternalism and social obligation permeated those texts and continue to exist to this day, even despite the long breaks in time from those pieces of work being written and being created. We can even see with The Handmaid's Tale, that is something that's still part of our cultural language when we are looking at the cultivation of that for Hulu and being a miniseries. Those themes are still relevant to us today, even though the idea of those topics can seem archaic because of the time that they were written, but are still incredibly relevant.
So what kind of reactions are you getting from this? And I'd like from both men and women.
It's been very, very positive from people. It has a bit of a shocking feeling for a lot of people who watch it. I don't want to give away the entirety of the concept, but it's a difficult film for a lot of people to watch for a variety of reasons. The experience I would say is singular for each individual. There's not a uniform experience that occurs, but it's been really rewarding to have people who I'm close with, who I am not close with, come up to me and be willing to exchange in a dialogue that they might not have had necessarily beforehand about like things that they have experienced that are so utterly personal, but considered taboo still to talk about. So it's been a very rewarding experience in that sense.
Okay. All right, so since we are that nerd show, we like to ask all of our filmmakers a very nerdy question. This is where we get to have a little fun, and I'm curious to know what your answer is. If you could be a superhero or supervillain, what would your superpower be and why? What kind of superpower do you want? We already had a good one. Somebody already mentioned they wish they could remember everybody's names at a film festival.
Oh my goodness, I really wish that I had that. Oh god, that is like such a great one. I'm really upset that I didn't think of it and I can't steal it right
I find it like we get tip sheets on all of y'all, but you don't get tip sheets on us.
Let me think for a moment. I think that my superpower would be the idea of instantaneous baking, because the fact that I hate to cook so much and I am horrendous at it, and I would save so much money if I could instantly cook things that are nutritious. So that would be my superpower.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is probably something that people wouldn't expect, but I think in terms of being a healthier individual, that would be really helpful.
You know, that's relatable. That is actually a good one. I haven't thought about that. And now I want a cupcake.
Exactly. Now all I can think about is food.
Yes, thank you for that. All right. Well, thank you for the interview and good luck with your film.
Thank you so much. It's very
All
nice
right.
to meet you.